Hello, people. I just wanted to jump on for a second and, excuse me, and add some thoughts to my step 3 of the 5 steps that I gave you. So, for those of you who are on my reset page, you know that I did a 5-step. Excuse me, I got something in my throat, Jesus. Last week I did the first 5 steps in going from employee to entrepreneur. And as I'm sitting here working and reviewing some things and looking at next steps for some things that I'm working on, I started thinking about the step 3 that I gave you all last week. So step 3 I listed was identify or know your weaknesses. And I just want to put a caveat there because it's important to know our weaknesses, right? And that is for sure a part of step 3. But really what it should have been entitled is identify your resources, right? Identify needed resources. So I'm going to go back and switch that up a little bit. And here's why, right? So knowing your weaknesses is definitely a part of identifying your needed resources, right? But it's not all of it, right? If I know my weaknesses, then I will have an idea of what else I need, right? I will have an idea. So for example, some of my weaknesses that I talked about on the step 3 was I'm impatient and I make quick decisions and I have too many ideas and I could go on and on, right? So if I know my weaknesses, I will have an idea of what my next step is, right? So if I am impatient, then what do I need to work on or what do I need to do in order to balance my impatience and my quick decision making, right? So knowing your weaknesses will help you in knowing what your needed resources are. But really, step 3 is really more about identifying your needed resources, right? Because here's the thing, the goal that you have before you is bigger than your current capacity, right? Like whatever it is that you're working towards, the business that you're trying to build is beyond your capabilities at this point. And it doesn't mean that you're not capable of reaching the goal. That's not what it means. It just means that there are going to be some things that you need to do, say, see, hear, learn in order to be successful at building your business, right? Because the goal is so big that it's going to need, that you're going to need additional support and additional help. So one of the things that we have to learn to do is figure out what it is that we need, right? Identify the needed resources and then begin to prioritize. That's the key, right? Because the truth is, if you're in the process of building a business and you are new or early in your journey, you're going to need a lot of stuff. I mean, that's the truth. You're going to need a lot of stuff. But the key is to get clear about what you need based on the season that you're in, right? That's the thing I think that we skip many times as new entrepreneurs is that we make the mistake of comparing ourselves to other people in the seasons that they're in. So we know so-and-so who's doing this, this, and this in their business, and we want to do this, 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 and this, right? But the truth is we're not in the same place as that person. And so what they need to be doing and what I need to be doing are two different things, right? So you have to begin to look at what is it that you need in this season. So if you're joining me, I always like for you to say hello. Let me know that you're listening. Let me know that you're out there. If something resonates, for sure, chime in and add your comments. But I want you to think about it right now and then tell me, what is it that you feel like you need in this season, right? So is it time management? Is it clarity on one or more areas of your business? Is it money? Is it peace? Like, get clear about what it is that you need based on the season that you're in. And the truth is, you might need all those things, right? Like I said, there's a lot of moving pieces to building a business. But once you make a list of the things that you need, then you can begin to prioritize and say, okay, this is what I need first. These are the first couple of things that I need to tackle before I can even begin to look at some of these other things that I need. So step 3 is really about identifying the needed resources, not just about identifying your weaknesses. Weaknesses are just a small part of that. Excuse me. So think about that. I wanted to add that to our step 3 discussion because I wanted you to have a full picture of what step 3 is, not just identifying your weaknesses and figuring out, what you need to do next, but really identifying what your needed resources are in order to get to your next level. And be careful, like I said, do not compare yourself to other people, because the goal is to identify and get okay with, accept the season that you're in today. And then focus on really getting to your next level, not their next level, right? The goal is to get to your next level. And so when you prioritize, you really begin to ask yourself the question of, what can I do? What do I need in order to be further along in my journey of building my business 3 to 6 months from now? What could I do right now? What do I need to do right now? What do I need to have in order to look up and be in a different place 3 or 6 months from now? Right? Like, that's how we should be judging what we should be doing, not necessarily the long term. Building the business is going to take a while, right? There's a lot of things that have to happen. But one of the things that is particularly important for those of us who are new to entrepreneurship is being good stewards of our time and our energy, because many people who are new to entrepreneurship are still working. They have, more responsibilities than the person who's been in business 10 years, simply because the person who's been in business longer probably has more employees and more people to help them. They're a little bit more stable in all areas of their life than the person who is newer. And so because you're new, you really have to be very conscious of your space and your time and your energy. You can't afford to be putting your energy into next season's work when you haven't done this season's work. So step 3, identify your needed resources. And as a part of that, you should be identifying your weaknesses so you know what you need to get or what you need to have in order to be successful at your current level. So those are my thoughts. Hopefully this was helpful. Let me know that you jumped on, even if you're catching the replay. I will holler at y'all. Peace.